And also, it's one of those things, like, it's gotten pretty big for the people who have been watching it. So what they actually did, because it's based off of a book series, they actually wrote, so far I think, 5 chapters of the book, and it's like a kind of like a fan fiction thing. Like, it says it's by the real author on the show, but obviously it's not a real book. And they're actually called Confessions of a Teenage Vampire. And if it's kind of like Twilight, it's in Edward's point of view in a way, but the main character's name is Noah Vance. And I actually liked it. I read the first couple of chapters. It's really sarcastic. It's really funny. It's really good. So if you really like the show and you like reading, just put 2 and 2 together and yay! And even in the series, it says that the book series is different than the person's real life, and it actually is. If you like watch the show and then you watch the books and you're like, hey, that is different. So you should definitely watch that. Eclipse is coming out soon for all you Twilight fans. Are you excited? I'm pretty excited. Funny story about Twilight, actually. Before this whole craze started, I didn't even find the book. My friend told me about it. And she was just like, Edward this, Edward that, and I was just like, whatever. This was like about a year before I even knew the movie was coming out. And she was like, oh, you gotta read the series, you gotta read the series. And I was like, I don't really like vampires, whatever. Didn't really want to get into it. She's like, no, you have to read this. So then I was finally like, you know what, fine, I'll read it. And then she's like, well, my grandma's borrowing it right now, so you'll just have to wait. And I was like, but I don't want to wait now, I do want to read it. So I went to the library, and I saw New Moon, and I was like, oh, good, I could just read this one and then go back. I didn't think they went out of, like, I knew it was a series, but I wasn't sure if it was really that big of a deal if it went out of order. So I read the first, 100 pages, and of course I didn't really love Edward yet, so I'm just, reading it, and I'm like, okay, main girl's Bella, I didn't know that, I just knew everybody was talking about Edward. Helios, alright. So then I text my friend, and I'm like, so I'm reading New Moon. And she's like, what? And she ran over to my work, because I was reading at my job, and she was like, no, you can't do this. So then she handed me Twilight, and then she was like, I'm so upset with you, you just ruined the series. And I'm like, no, I didn't. So yeah, I understand why that wasn't the smartest move, but then what happened was I read Twilight. I read it actually in, one day, got hooked. Then I went and read, New Moon again. And then I'm reading it, and I'm like, oh my god, he's gonna leave! No, why is he leaving? And I, had a totally different impression by the time I read it the second time, because I knew everything. And then I read Eclipse, right after that, and it was amazing. And then, when Breaking Dawn came out, I actually had to wait an entire week, because my birthday party was gonna be that week for my Sweet 16, and my friends all wanted to get it for me. So I had to wait, and all of them were reading it, and I was really, really mad, because by then it was, my favorite series, and I was so hooked. I did read Midnight Sun, and it is really, really good. I didn't read it. I read it the one off of Stephanie's website, so I didn't feel bad. I really was gonna wait, but I was like, you know what? She says you can read it. I am very curious. It does explain a lot of stuff, and I hope she does, rewrite it and everything, because it was really good. And I am excited about reading, The Very Short Life of Bree Tanner. And that's another funny story, because out of all my friends, my friend Bree is the only one who truly hates the series. And she's never read it. She doesn't really like reading in general. But, to get her to read it, I even was like, I'll pay you. And she's like, no, I don't want to read it. I was like, okay. Well, when I was reading Eclipse, I remember reading, and I was like, oh my god, Bree, you're in the book. And then I turned the page, and I'm like, never mind, you died. Sorry. I guess this is all I'm going to talk about. For anybody who doesn't like Twilight, I am sorry that I just wasted, most of the video about vampires in general. That was... sorry. I like my hair today. I actually had it clipped back, which looks pretty pretty. pretty. I had it clipped back like this. But then I got tired of it being in a clip, so I went wada. Yeah, for those of you who have kind of watched my videos from the start, I only know there's 6 or 7 now. My hair was really long. It was down to here. And it was the longest it's been in a long time, since the 90s. And I just wanted to change. So I was like, I'm gonna cut it short. So I cut it here, which is a pretty big change because I hadn't had it that short in probably 8-ish months. And then I was like, I'm gonna dye it a different color, which I never dyed my hair before. That I decided to go orangey. And I liked it, but it wasn't drastic enough for me. And I was like, I really want to change. So then I cut it this short. It's a little longer now, and then I've trimmed it and blah blah blah. But I cut it really short, and then I dyed it this color called True Red from Garnier, and I love it. And I've been retouching it like that ever since. You probably can't tell it's that red because my webcam lighting isn't great, but my hair used to be like a lightish brownish. I just wanted a fun change, and I do look like a natural redhead because I am pale and all. So, yeah. Okay, enough for random videos. If you want me to do more of these, like, leave a comment or whatever. Message me, subscribe, yay! If you don't like me to do these, then I will go back to book reviews. I was just kind of bored tonight and was like, hey, why not? Also, if you do like me to do these, instead of me just, like, not even thinking about what I'm gonna say before I hit record, how about you send me, like, some questions that you want me to answer, or just, like, random, like, say, like, tell me what you did at school today, or something like that. I'll do that totally. So, have fun with this. Book review will eventually be coming out, I promise. Deal? Okay, so, that's about this. Really gotta cut this down, because it's at 14 minutes, because I talk so much. Okay, bye guys!